Right. I don't think we're going to sell Fellaini, so that's the closest you're ever going to get to a dab. I didn't even know how to do it, but Chris Farley said, imagine you've been out on the pop, you're feeling a bit sick, you're grabbing the door with one hand and you're throwing up whilst holding your head with the other. That's how you dab. So that's your dab for you. Right, we're here. It's not scripted. It's a Friday night. We've both been out for a drink. Me and Alex. Alex is with me. We'll have his Lingard top in a moment. But first of all, we're going to start with Pogba. Chill out, relax, take it slow. I can sing, but no, relax. Pour yourself a bath, a deep hot bath. Put some Radox in it. Go and put the kettle on. Have a Horlicks. Sit down in the bath. Get some candles around. Maybe a magazine, whatever choice you like, Home and Country or something a bit hardcore, and relax about Pogba. The meltdown is ridiculous. I told you last night. We told you last night. Everyone keeps telling you it's done, and it's been done for weeks. Look at his hair. Look. It's impossible that he's filmed that Adidas ad any time in the last 2 weeks. He's signed. He's not officially signed. I understand people who say it's not a done deal because it's not officially signed. But the deal between him, the risk of him going to Madrid or staying to Juventus is nil because he's agreed the deal with Manchester United and Raiola. This final bit is just sorting it out. Some people are blaming Juventus. I've been told that actually some of it might be Manchester United's fault because they want to announce it either Monday morning at the start of the week or tomorrow because there's issues with selling tickets. But I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I've been told. But I'm totally relaxed about Pogba happening. So chill out, enjoy it. There is no risk. There is no danger. He is not going to stay at Juventus. He's not going to Real Madrid. He's coming to Manchester United. It would have been nice if it had happened today. We wanted it to happen today, but chill out. We've got loads to talk about. Schweinsteiger, Smalling's injury, ramifications from that, Fabinho, Miranda, not the one who's on the BBC. And what else would I want to talk about? Deadwood, not Edward, Deadwood. But we've got Alex with us first. Alex is sporting his equipment that if you've been clinging to the Twitter feed of today and the last few days, he fell out with Adidas last Saturday with their Lingard thing. And Adidas didn't apologise, but his mentions got rammed, so they've sent him some stuff. And here he is. And for those who didn't know what he's got, well, he's sporting one of them. The 12 is because we won the FA Cup twice. But the best thing that Adidas sent him, and you've got to say it's proper bants. He's going to show you now. He's still on mute, so he needs to unmute. But proper banter from Adidas. Brilliant brand. And he's going to show you now.
Well, basically, I don't know if you followed like what Mark put out on the United Stand feed or I put out on the United Stand feed. And I was at work today, so I didn't see the whole thing because my fiance got the package, and so she just sent me like the front and like this shirt, which I absolutely love this shirt, and then she sent me like
it'll be worth the suspense.
Got me this, so I was like, and it didn't have the Premier League badges or anything like I thought it would have, so I asked like, oh yeah, let me have a Zlatan shirt, blah blah blah. And I thought, she's just sent me this like view. So I was like, oh, it's a bare shirt. So I was like thinking about, oh, what time can I go to Sports Direct or whatever tomorrow? Premier League badges cost me like £5. And then Ibrahimovic, it'll probably cost me a lot because it's a big name. And then she's like, what do you think's on the back? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do I think on the back? Nothing's on the back. And she's like, no, there is something on the back. And I was like, well, I wrote to Mark Ibrahimovic if that's what they're going to send me. But she's like, no, it's not that. And she's like, what's on the back then? And I'm like, no, please don't tell me what they've done, what I think they've done. And then this is what they've done.
We can't see it. Pull it down a bit. There it is. That's banter. That is top class banter. That is superb. But I tell you what, I'll come back to you with a proper question in a moment.
Let me just say before.
Don't strip.
That is my bin. Can you see the bin?
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I think about a fucking Jesse Lingard shirt.
Well, you say that, but actually, we've got another guest on tonight. I'd like to welcome Jesse Lingard. He was going to come on. I really did think you were his biggest fan. Oh, he's gone. But yeah, proper top-class banter. And that, if you get that for slagging off Jesse Lingard, who, let's face it, isn't going to be in the first team this year. Adidas, if you're watching, I've got a list. I think Martial's shit. I think Zlatan's shit. I think Pogba's crap. And I wouldn't wipe my arse on a Mkhitaryan shirt. So you can put that out and send all four. But William says disrespectful. It's banter. It's banter. And I think Adidas know it's banter.
People saying it's disrespectful. I'll tell you what, do you think I'll give a shit if it's disrespectful? It's Jesse Lingard. I'll be disrespectful to Zlatan and give me a Zlatan shirt. I'll be disrespectful to Martial. Give me a Martial shirt. Jesse Lingard won't even be at this club in 2 years' time. If he wasn't born in Manchester, you wouldn't be saying it's disrespectful, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and to be absolutely honest, you're giving it to your girlfriend anyway, aren't you?
I already have. But before I'd even seen it in real life, I already given it away.
Yeah. On a serious note, if you are watching Adidas, I do not want a Fellaini shirt. I know Draughty's just put that in the comment section. Alex can joke about bins. I'll burn it live on air, so don't do it. But what was I going to say? Yeah, let's fly into the real stuff. Relax about Pogba. Let's move on from Pogba. That deal's going to be done. Chill out. It could happen tomorrow. I think more likely Monday. Whatever. Let's crack on with it. There's loads to talk about. First thing I want to really talk about is the sort of, should we do Schweinsteiger? We'll do Chris Smalling because I'm going to go with what I'm interested in. Chris Smalling is injured. Mourinho says that it's a follow-on from an injury last year, which is weird because the one thing Smalling's done really well over the last while is stay fit, get in the team. So he's injured, right? That throws a massive problem up because we've been saying for the last few days that Bailly will be a very good player, but look at what happened to Vidic. It took him 6 months to get used to it. Bailly's younger, he's raw. You can't count on him. You've then got Jones, Rojo. You can't count on them. Daley Blind, as bad as it makes me feel, is probably going to be starting as a centre-back again. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. However, what I do think, and I'll throw this to the comment section and to Alex, surely with the Smalling injury, we've got to be going into the transfer market. We're linked tentatively with somebody that we haven't mentioned before, which is Mangala, who was ex-Atletico Madrid, now I think it's Inter Milan, but he's 31. But apparently this is why, and I can give you this exclusively, we're not in for John Stones. Mourinho did like John Stones last year, and it's somebody I think both me and Alex have mentioned that we wouldn't mind him happening, but he's not in for him for a very good reason. He knows we need an experienced centre-back, and bringing John Stones in isn't the right answer. So, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Alex, but Smalling is out of the Bournemouth game. We knew he was out of the Leicester game because of the suspension. He's out of the Bournemouth game. So we need to go out and get someone.
What is his injury precisely?
I don't think Jose said. I think he's just said it's something from last season. So I'm clueless as to what that would be. I can't remember an injury that he had last season.
Well, let's be fair. I don't really worry about it because, like you said, I guess it will be Blind. So I'm really not really that worried in the slightest. I think Blind did a stellar job. And I've been quoted on this channel already as saying that I'm not. I do think Smalling is really underrated by rival fans, but he can be a little bit overrated by our own fans. And I think Blind, he has done a good job. So, when he's played at centre-back, and I think Bailly, I know I haven't really seen him that much. I've only seen him in pre-season, basically. But from what I've seen of him, he's done a decent job. And we have Shaw at left-back. And when you have David De Gea at centre-back, when you have David De Gea in goal, you always have a solid platform to build off of. And if we have Pogba, and then it really just depends on who we have at that other double pivot. If it's Schneiderlin, then you basically have another centre-back with you anyway. So, and it's Bournemouth, so who cares? Alex,
how much have you had to drink? You sound like Louis van Gaal with your double pivot. We'll just rely on David De Gea. We'll put Daley Blind at centre-back. He's quite good. He turns into Van Gaal when he's had a drink.
Double pivot means the two in the midfield. Obviously, David De Gea in goal and Blind.
No, we're not playing a double pivot anymore. We're not playing two defensive midfielders. We're playing one and a box-to-box and a number 10. That's what we're doing. We're not doing this double pivot rubbish, Louis. Anyway, there's a comment in the comment sections for you. IX0H says, I will dislike this video. Sorry, but that guy should be banned for disrespect to you, a United player. It's called banter, mate. I know some of you don't get what banter is or sense of humour.
He's an absolute disgrace throwing the Man United shirt in the bin.
It's sacrilegious. That's like throwing the Quran or something, or the Bible, or burning the Bible to some.
You're talking to someone that has a Tom Cleverley shirt and Ashley Young shirt. So it takes a lot for me to throw it in the bin there. Javier Hernandez shirt. And
the positive about all of this, and Zara said it earlier, the positive about all of this is you should keep that shirt and wear it, because every shirt you wear, you destroy the player. So get Lingard on and just wear it every single game, and we'll always be happy. And anyway, as Maldora 01 says, Lingard doesn't deserve respect. He should be shot on sight every time he does dabbing. It's a disgrace to the shirt to dab in it, which, you know what, maybe he's right. But you know what? It's banter. Lingard, nothing against him. He's just not good enough for Manchester United, I don't think. I think he'll do very well to be on the bench this year. He's definitely not going to be in the first team. He's just not good enough. That's a fact. You can like him, dislike him. It's not about personal things. It's about Manchester United Football Club. And I tell you what, I get a bit tired of this. Oh, it's disrespectful to Lingard. Who's Jesse Lingard? Who's Wayne Rooney? These are players earning a lot of money to play for my club. They'll be gone in 10 years. We'll still be there. All that matters is the club and the badge on it and the fans who support it. Don't get lost in this player loving. Do you think the players really care? All they want to do is earn their money and get the adoration of us. The thing that matters the most is the club, the fans, and the badge. And that's what matters. Never lose sight of that. Don't get lost in the player bull rubbish. Bull rubbish. It's a new word. Why not swearing? But I love the players if they perform. But players can come in and out and form. But never, what always stays consistent is Manchester United, you, the fans, and the badge on the shirt. That's what you support. And have a bit of a laugh. We are. Next one is Schweinsteiger I want to talk about. We'll take a few comments first because I'm probably getting a load of rubbish for that. The club matters, says Blame the Pickle. Chill out. Lingard is still young, says Anus the Red. Lingard is fantastic.
It's the biggest myth as well in football because Lingard isn't even young. He's like 24, and everyone keeps putting him in the like United category of like youth category with the likes of Rashford, Fosu Mensah and stuff, and he's nowhere near that age. He's not.
Well, he's the same age as Pogba. You know, that's the biggest example you can use.
I think he's been older than him.
Well, he probably is older than him because Pogba's only just 23 in April. So if Lingard must be still 23, I think, but I think he's coming up for 24. But the reality is, he's the same age as Pogba, and he's still, you know, he's thinner than a rake, and a rake without a rake on it. That's poor. You'll get some bad jokes. I have had a few drinks, but that's deep, says Brooks Skyers. I am deep. I go really deep. Not adding the rest. What number will Pogba get? 6. Lingard is not good enough, George Kyle. Why all the hate for Lingard, Andrew Robinson? I hate that. It's not hate. Are you listening to the video, Andre? I said it's not personal hate. It's about footballing ability. People always say, why do you hate them? I don't hate them. Alex doesn't hate them. You don't hate them. I don't bloody know them. If we're talking about wearing a shirt for the club I love in the first 11, you're not good enough. It's not hate. It's you're not good enough. If Alex ran out tomorrow against Galatasaray and I did the match reaction, I would absolutely rip him apart. I'd say he should never be on the pitch again. Doesn't mean I dislike him. I still go for a beer with him. I'm talking about the club I love, and that's what matters. He's not good enough. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he does. There's only one player in the world I hope never proves me wrong, and that's Fellaini. Next, Mark, do you like Miranda? I do. I hate Mrs. Brown's boys, but Miranda, I don't mind. It's quite funny. Mensah at centre-back. Pereira better than Lingard, 100%. Yarad, I believe this. Mark, this episode is banter, is fun. This is like a United Stand Extra Time. We need to bring it back in, be a bit more professional. But Schweinsteiger, I do want to talk about. I'm going to combine it with two things here, actually, and I'll throw it to the comments as well, and Alex. The squad for the Galatasaray game tomorrow. Get the United Stand Army United tomorrow. It's like 1066, the Battle of Hastings. Get United, get on the watch along at 5:30. Let's show everybody what we're all about, like you did last time. But the squad, the 23, when it came out, obviously Smalling's not part of it. Schweinsteiger's not part of it. Fosu Mensah's not part of it. Pereira's not part of it. Twansibi's not part of it. You look at the 23, and I tell you what, I felt disappointed. I actually felt disappointed because I looked at it and I went, in Jose we trust. But if that's going to be our squad of 24, and you add Smalling in there, Pogba in there, you probably get rid of Rojo, I suppose. That squad has got very little youth in it. It's got Rashford, basically, and it's got a lot of experienced deadwood that I would rather we just got rid of. I'm talking Ashley Young, I'm talking Antonio Valencia, I'm talking Marouane Fellaini, I'm talking Phil Jones, I'm talking Marcus Rowe. Off the top of my head, there's 5. I know I've not been great about Januzaj, but I'd rather get rid of that 5. Bring Pereira in, Januzaj, Fosu Mensah, Schweinsteiger, and obviously Smalling back in. And I would have them 5 in. I'm not happy about that squad. I'm not happy about the likes of Ashley Young, Valencia, Rojo Jones and Fellaini being part of our 24-man squad next year. It's too experienced and there's not enough youth in it. And I'm hoping that we'll see a different squad for the actual season. But I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, Alex. I'm definitely not taking a pop at Jose. I think he's the best manager in the world. But I think he's going to learn what we know already, that these players just aren't. They shouldn't be part of the squad. They've had their chances.
I've been speaking about this the whole day at work today with other Man United fans, and it's like we were all saying like the same point. It's like I don't get what it came from this Daily Mail article the other day saying about how Fosu Mensah's going. Well, they say it's either for transfer or for loan. But the way
it is loan, it's not transfer. 100%, it's not transfer. Fosu Mensah is not being sold, and he actually is carrying an injury at the moment.
I have seen articles saying that he is actually up for sale, but
there are, but he isn't. It's not.
I don't think he would be up for sale, but yeah, it just completely depends because Jose Mourinho always basically keeps the same starting 11 for every single game, barring injury. He always keeps the same starting 11. So it wouldn't be what I would do, but that like Fosu Mensah probably wouldn't be in that starting 11. Like I probably would have him next to Pogba. And I know a lot of people say Schneiderlin and stuff, but I truly think that Fosu Mensah can be like our version of like Kante or something like that. And I really do have that much faith in him. But I know that Jose probably won't do that. Like he always said at Chelsea that he'd give Ruben Loftus-Cheek his due, but he gave him like one half and then like played him like he basically played him like I think he gave him like 3 Premier League appearances all season after saying that he'd really give him a chance. And I'm not like slating Jose for it because we need to get someone in that will actually like not give a shit about youth necessarily, but will bring us back to the top, which Jose is the person to do that. But I really pray I will not necessarily turn against him, but I'll be really pissed off if Pereira and Fosu Mensah leave the club. And I don't think they will, but if they do, that's what will piss me off. But the rest, I don't really care that much about, to be fair. Bothwick Jackson, I would be a little bit annoyed at, but apart from them 3, I wouldn't really care that much, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm ecstatic that we've got Jose, and I think this is the best summer I've ever seen as a United fan. It's epic what we've done. But as I'll always say, is you can't sell your soul on what you believe in, and there will be things that it's not all. You don't have to believe in everything just because he's the best manager in the world, just because he's brought us the best summer in the world. You know, you can't be bought off on what your morals are. And I will be vocal over this season about things I disagree with. I'm certainly not saying he's not the right manager or anything like that. I'm just being a typical fan who has concerns about little things that you see. Pereira's been loaned out to get experience to come back. That's the story there. I'd rather he stayed, but actually his chances are going to be quite limited. It's better for him if he's playing for somebody in a first team. It's got to be at least Championship, hopefully a peripheral Premier League side. So I can't argue with that. Fosu Mensah's not going anyway. He's not for sale. He might go on loan. He won't go because if you know anything about Jose, he loved Michael Essien, and I think Fosu Mensah is that sort of player and can be even better. So he's not going anywhere. But I still come back to the fact that there is only Rashford in that squad who is a youth player. Lingard, like Alex said, is touching 24. He's a youth product, but he's not a youth player. And for me, that is a bit shocking because we know that Jose will have a squad of about 24. And you look at the 23 players he's taking tomorrow, there is too much 25 to 30 experienced players who haven't performed, who need to go. And I'll be blunt. Ashley Young's one, Valencia's is another one, Fellaini, Rojo Jones. I mean, I'm repeating myself. Them 5 should be gone, and you either bring new players in or you blood youth players. But that is what should happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. It might happen, but that is what should happen. And we bring it to Schweinsteiger, who has retired from Germany today. He is not part of that squad. I don't know why. If anybody knows why, they can put it up on there. I presume it's been reported in a lot of decent press over here, like the Times. He's been told he can go. I find that quite sickening. I do find it quite sickening because I went absolutely mad when we signed him. I think if Schneiderlin, Herrera, Memphis and Darmian are getting a second chance like they should do this year because Van Gaal destroyed them, then Bastian should get another chance as well. I don't understand why he's not being given that chance. He's a world-class leader. He's a brilliant player to have around the park. And to be honest, you know what? I'll be blunt again. If I was choosing between him and Rooney to have in the squad as a leader, I'd take Bastian Schweinsteiger every day of the week. I can't understand it. I will back the manager because you've got to back the manager, but I'm not happy about Schweinsteiger going. And as Roy Keane, and I said it last night, Roy Keane said an injured Schweinsteiger is better than a fit Fellaini. And people keep saying this. Fellaini is going to be a useful option off the bench because he's big. Bailly's like 6'3". Pogba's 6'3". We've got a big squad now. This excuse of having a big lump who is, as I said yesterday, as useful as a giraffe running around a bowl of porridge. Why do we need him on the bench? We don't need that sort of player. People say, oh, it's because he's tall. We've got tall players who can play football. He's an absolute liability. And I tell you what, his card is marked with red because he gets red. He'll get loads of red cards this year because towards the end of last year, all the referees could see what he's doing. He needs to go. He needs to be sold. And that's why I dabbed at the start of this video, because I'm not going to be dabbing for when he's sold. It's not going to happen, but he should be sold. Apparently, there's a rumour today that he can go to Sunderland, but Jose said it's up to him if he goes. Well, he ain't going to go and leave bloody Manchester United to go to Sunderland, is he? He's going to carry on another free role. I'm disgusted. Anyway, Alex, your thoughts on Schweinsteiger? I think you're pretty comfortable with him going, and I think there's people in the comments who said, well, Cole Kay saying that I nearly lost it. Bastian is past it, and his heart was never with us. I disagree with the second part.
To be fair, I do really like him, but at the same time, I just feel like if it was someone like a random player, let's say from League One, and came in at that same age and played like he had, I wouldn't have the same opinion as if it was Bastian Schweinsteiger coming in.
He had a good start to the season. People forget that. He had a good start to the season up until like November. He was playing really well.
I don't even think he's necessarily been that bad, but I just think it's that people have set their standards so high, myself included, and you included, and like Drew and everyone included, that like when we did all this video when he first came in, that everyone thought that he was going to be absolutely amazing. And then Pep Guardiola, to be fair, did say that he was past it because he wasn't fit and all this. And then he just never really lived up to the hype. But I still love him, but I think it's because of his past name. And that's the problem, that I think a lot of people can't really take out the bias of what he used to be and like clinging on to hope that he will come back to being like that. But
yeah.
To be fair, it's the same with like Carrick. Like Carrick, I don't think last season was as good as he has been in the season before yet.
He's on the decline. Carrick is on the decline for sure.
He's like 35, and the thing that worries me about it, because like I said, I was speaking about it again today at work, and I think obviously Pogba is going to be a starter, and it just depends who's going to be alongside him. But I was saying, like, everyone's expecting it to be Schneiderlin, but it wouldn't really surprise me if it was Carrick. But like, we can't be relying on Carrick still at 35. He's obviously a brilliant player, and he'll be a brilliant squad player. But it wouldn't surprise me if we're still relying on him as a starter. But we've been waiting for how many years to replace him? Just like we were waiting for how many years to replace Scholes?
Darby Shash or Shish Biswas says Bastian needs another season to prove haters wrong, and I agree with that. And Alex King says Fellaini is like a giraffe running around in a bowl of porridge. Oh, he's just repeating my line. Marino didn't go and watch the reserves the other day, isn't inspiring, says Ravens Claude. I think there's things like that we need to keep an eye on. But on the point of Pep, he's fattest. You know what? It's not on to pick on people just because they're overweight. And I think his comments coming out about people being fat at Man City is wrong. But the press let him get away with it. I guarantee if Jose said that, they'd be all over him. Weight Watchers, the lot. They'd be camped out at Old Trafford marching on him. It's disgraceful. And also about Schweinsteiger, people saying, oh, he never bought into the club. Ryan Giggs' words, not mine. I've never seen a signing buy into what Manchester United is about more than Bastian Schweinsteiger. And that was like autumn last year. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. But I think he's gone. I don't agree with it. It just seems to me that every year, every summer, we lose somebody we shouldn't be losing. And I'm going to be saying it again. Van Persie never should have gone last year. I don't care what anybody says. And I don't think Schweinsteiger could go. Because Alex makes a good point indirectly. We're keeping Carrick for his experience. What's Carrick ever done on the international scene? Admittedly, he should have had a chance. I've gone mad about it for years about how he's never been given a chance. But what has he done on the international scene? Schweinsteiger is international class, and we're just going to let him go. I still think Rooney's got too much hold on the dressing room. I really do, because the reality is Schweinsteiger's a better leader. But sod it, let it happen. I don't care. What does it matter? I can't do anything about it.
But at the same time, Zlatan's probably a better leader than both of them.
No, I like Zlatan, but he's not a leader. He's an entity.
PSG's captain, and he's like been such a good leader for PSG, and he's Sweden's captain as well. I think he's more like charismatic and has more leadership values than both of them. I know obviously Schweinsteiger's probably won more in his career, but Zlatan's definitely more of a leader than Rooney.
I love Zlatan. I think everyone's going to start to see what a powerful and brilliant player he is, but he plays up front, and the best captains are either a centre-back or a midfielder because they get the whole pitch and they drive the whole team. And I thought Schweinsteiger should have been given the captaincy last year. But actually, you know what? We never would have signed Schweinsteiger without Van Gaal. We nearly got Muller because of Van Gaal. So actually, maybe that is part of the issue, really. Schweinsteiger never would have come to Manchester United without the Van Gaal Bayern Munich connection. So maybe that is part of the problem. We'll talk about, we've done that. We'll talk about Fabinho next. That's flashed up again. Jorge Mendes is his agent, same as Jose. Reports from Brazil, because Fabinho is, I think he's 21 or 22 now. He's 6'1", right back, very fast, very good defensively. And the reports are coming out of Brazil that once the Champions League qualifiers are out the way for Monaco, I don't know when they are, he will be signing for Manchester United. I said this a couple of weeks ago that I think we will sign him. I don't necessarily, again, I'm not necessarily happy about it for two reasons. I think he's a decent player, but I think Darmian can be better. And also, I think Fosu Mensah again can be the backup right back. Give us your thoughts, Alex. I don't know what you're thinking.
I just hate the thought of Fosu Mensah. Like, I think if I was to choose a right back out of our current squad, you'd have to, I guess, go for Darmian just because he is a natural right back and because I don't think that Fosu Mensah is going to be given a chance. But if Fosu Mensah is going to somehow fit into this team, then I would play him at right back if he isn't going to get a chance at centre mid, because there keeps on being these reports in the papers and stuff about that we're either selling Fosu Mensah and that Darmian hasn't got a place. So that really makes me scared that I guess Bailly is going to be playing as our right back, which he hasn't played so far in pre-season there, but he did play there for Villarreal, and Jose does have a tendency to play like someone that would be like a bigger sort of player, like how he had Ivanovic at right back for Chelsea. And it's just, I don't see the logic. I think that Jose Mourinho could make Darmian into a really good right back. Like, we all saw him at the start of the season, how brilliant he was at right back. And then he just randomly, I can't remember, but I think it was the Southampton game, wasn't it, when Tadic just absolutely ruined him and Mane just ruined him. And then I think it was just a confidence thing. The thing with Louis van Gaal is that he just ruined so many players' confidence. It's like the same happened with Memphis.
Well, he destroyed Paddy McNair. Whether he would be good enough or not.
So McNair, Memphis, and Darmian as well. And it's like so much of football is based on confidence. And so I don't know. I think if we sign Pogba, then I think our transfer business is done. Unless we, like Jose said, that we'll sell people and then we'll buy people to replace them. But I think after Pogba, our business is basically done. And then Darmian will be our right back, if I'm being honest, with what I think will be the start of the season.
It's interesting because there's a tweet out there somewhere that I'm sure I put it out, and I said that Paddy McNair will be a top-class centre-back by the time he's 22, because he was quite young a couple of years ago. I don't know how old he is now, but I think he came into the team when he was about 18. I think I remember it was against Everton probably 2 seasons ago, and they absolutely hammered us, and he played at centre-back, and he did really well, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to be a star of the future. And looking at his natural game, I thought, yeah, he needs to develop a bit physically, but he was throwing himself in the line. He looked quite decent on the ball. I thought he was going to be really good. I feel sorry for him because he's going to be sold. He's not got no future at Manchester United. And the person who can take that on their shoulders and actually won't care is Louis van Gaal, because he took him off after half an hour against, I think it was Southampton again. And he did it again in another game. He absolutely destroyed him, threw him under a bus totally, and ruined a player who, yeah, he might not have made it anyway. I thought he had a good chance if he'd been allowed to develop like Sir Alex would have done it. But totally, left by the wayside and destroyed by Van Gaal confidence-wise. It just shows you. It's going to be an interesting development, though. We've got a brilliant summer in relation to signings, but and you can't judge on that 23-man squad for Galatasaray. But what I would say is it's only Galatasaray in a friendly. Starters you mean to go on, get some of the youth players involved. The reality is in that squad tomorrow of 23 players, Rashford's the only one of any youth. A fact. If Jose is going to continue that for the rest of the season, I'll pose the question now, or the first few months of the season, are you happy that Rashford is the only youth player part of the squad? I think it's wrong. I think there should be more than that. But we'll discuss that more as the season goes on. And like I said, I'm not afraid to say what I think about it. I think we've got to promote the youth. And I'm not interested in the likes of Ashley Young. They're coming towards the end of their career. They're decent enough players. But you know what? You've got no future at the club, mate. Go. Get Pereira on the bench. I'd rather him because Young's not starting. Same goes for Valencia. Phil Jones, I know he's quite young, but I just don't think he's good enough. Same with Rojo. I would much rather have someone like Roshan Williams, Twansibi on the bench than one of those two. That's what Manchester United is. That's what it's interesting about keeping your eye on. Rohit Jin says, what's Antonio Valencia's best position? I think in a taxi out of Manchester for me. Definitely not right back. Ryan Davis and a few others have mentioned Dimitri Payet to Manchester United. I'll throw that to Alex. I've purposely not mentioned it because there's zero chance of it happening. But I don't know what your thoughts are, Alex.
It was just so ridiculous. What was it? Like 50 million. I saw it yesterday, like 50 million for Payet to Man United. It won't happen. So it's pointless, like you said, to even talk about it. So I don't even know why we're wasting our breath.
I'll tell you what is popping up again, though. Bonucci, 70 million euro.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like City at the very start of the summer bid 51 million. I'm guessing it's pounds. If you're saying 70 now, which I'm guessing yours is euro, but I don't know. But it has no chance of happening anyway. But he's 29 years old. For that amount of money, it would be absolutely ridiculous anyway. I know centre backs come at a premium anyway these days, and that's why, from what I've seen with him, no Man United fan, unless you continuously watch Villarreal, you're not going to be able to give a proper insight really. But from what I've seen of him, the little I have seen of him, Bay looks like a really good player. So I'm happy with what we've done so far. But a lot of people are saying, and a lot of news reports are saying that we're going in for a more experienced centre back, which would surprise me because I think that what Jose said is actually true, that how he sorted out 4 key positions, and we had Zlatan, Mickey and Bay, which was the first 3, and then Pogba is, let's be honest, the other one, and then it would have been Matuidi or Kante or whoever if we didn't get Pogba. But all signs point to getting Pogba, and please God let us get Pogba. But if we sign Pogba, I don't really see us signing anyone else. Or I know Manchester Evening News and stuff said that we are going to, and a lot of other news sources are saying that we're getting an experienced centre-back or someone else. But I don't think we will sign anyone unless we absolutely have to by selling that many players.
I think we will sign. I think we need to sign another centre-back. I agree with you about Bay. I've seen enough about him, and we'll be watching him again tomorrow. I've seen enough about him to know that he's going to be a decent player in the future if he develops. But I'll just keep throwing it back. Vidic and Evra took 6 months to get used to it, and look how good they became. You can't expect him to go straight into the Premier League and not make mistakes. He'll make mistakes. So expect that and allow him to do it. But what I would say as well is in his whole career, Jose has always built his teams on 2 strong centre-backs. And we haven't got one, really. You could say Smalling, but he's injured anyway. And I think even Alex has said he's a bit concerned about him. Blind, I'm not convinced by Blind as a title-winning centre-back. I think if you're Everton, he's a decent player. But he showed last season in the games against Spurs and West Ham when it really mattered, made big mistakes. I think he's a better left-back than a centre-back. Jones, don't get me started. Rojo, he'll get skinned by anybody. He's a banana. But let's have a look. Lingard is 10 times better than Cleverly, says Woods M32. I actually disagree. Tim Murphy says Ashley Williams.
And just say that the people that saying, "Oh, Alex, can you please take that United shirt out of the bin?" I took it out of the bin the moment I put it in. I just put it in as a joke. Don't get me wrong. I'm never going to wear it because it has fucking Lingard on the back, and I'm going to buy his Zlatan shirt and then on the white one a Pogba shirt. But my fiance said already that she wants to wear the shirt, so she'll have it. But I didn't put it in the bin. Don't worry.
It was a joke. His girlfriend is having it because I'd said if he didn't want it, we'd give it away because I'm sure one of you lot would want it. So it's a joke. Tim Murphy, Ashley Williams on loan for 3 weeks to cover for Smalling. Who keeps going on about Ashley Williams? I've repeated it so many times. He's worse than Phil Jones. He's not a Manchester United defender. There's a reason he's been playing at Swansea all his career. Not even Liverpool want him, and they're a mid-table side. Why would Manchester United want Ashley Williams? He's not good. He's just a typical Sunday League player who is passionate and tries hard and throws his body in the way. He is not a good defender. And the fact that people think he's Manchester, you know what? All right, let's go and sign Ashley Williams. And tell you what, while we're at it, why don't we go and sign Peter Crouch as well? Because it's the same thing. Don't want Payet at all, says LaRusso. Young can still beat a man, says Tired Diggs. Maybe you can. Keenan Dunleavy says sell Young, Valencia, Fellaini, Rojo and Jones. Totally agree with that. Tyler says Valencia is not a right back. Stephen Mahoney says Seamus Coleman right back. I always liked Seamus Coleman. We mentioned him last summer. He's Premier League proven. I do like him. Probably getting on a bit now, but there we go. Rojo to stay, says Sol Page. I think Rojo will stay. I think Jones will stay. I think Young will stay. I think Valencia will stay. I think Fellaini will stay. I think none of them should stay. But, you know, Jose, you're going to have to learn what some of us Manchester United fans have seen for the last 3 years, and they're just not good enough. Ashley Williams is garbage, says Jay Braithwaite. Mark, what do you think about Godin, Liquid Hill? I don't think we'll get anybody from Atletico Madrid, to be honest. I think Mustafi from Valencia is a good shout. Manolas. Miranda, 31. How much would we have to pay? I think the value in the market is Mustafi, but I think Arsenal need one. So there we go. When will Pogba be confirmed, says Keane O'Sullivan? I can't give you an exact time. What I can tell you is that he will sign for Manchester United, and I just don't understand why people are getting concerned about it. It will happen. It could happen tomorrow. There's talk of it happening tomorrow because there's not many. They've not sold all the tickets for the game in Sweden against Galatasaray. There's talk of it being announced tomorrow. I don't think it will on a match day. I really don't. But Monday probably seems quite likely because I think it was Mkhitaryan or Zlatan we announced first thing Monday morning. So maybe that's what they'll go for again. We'll react as soon as it happens. All I can say about that. I'm going to do a special video about Winter is Coming. It was going to go up tomorrow, but I'm not going to do it because he's not signed officially yet, because you just never know. But I do know, but there's no point in doing it until he's signed because I really want to dig into Madrid. Mark, Pogba is still in Miami, says Mystic HD. Yeah, apparently he's there till the 6th. Dimarzio is a joke, says Don El Capone. Well, it's not a funny joke because I think he's been absolutely spot on.
Anyway, he's meant to be having his medical out in Miami anyway, but I don't really know if I do think he is coming to United now, but I don't understand the point of why we'd have his medical in Miami. But a lot of the newspapers are saying that he is having his medical out there, but I don't get why you wouldn't just wait till he comes over to Manchester.
No, I don't know. Winter is coming, says Manners99. I think that I'm not concerned about the medical. I suppose the medical makes people think it's a done deal, but it's a done deal anyway. It's just sorting this minor stuff out with Juventus, and apparently we're the ones holding it up because we want to announce it at a certain time. And Adidas have probably got an advert ready for it as well. So, you know, they've got to do their thing. What I would say is about Mino Raiola. I was on Facebook earlier about his comments. It's just laughable. You know, his last tweet was blah, 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 and then it's in the Adidas campaign. Today, he's mentioning being first and also parrots, which are also in the Adidas adverts. It's just ridiculous. Fair play to him for his banter. I don't know what they're paying him, burgers or something, but it's just all marketing. And to be honest, it's very good because a few days ago we were saying we're all getting tired of this Pogba thing, and it deserves the status it's going to get. No right to sign him. It's a massive signing. It's going to be a world record transfer. And Adidas and the agents as well. They're building it up, which is great.
Can I just say, I was worried, and some people obviously will be worried about that, the shit that he talks about. But you have to remember as well that he was saying stuff about Zlatan's transfer, saying that it's not 100% sure, blah blah blah, and all this. And then Zlatan, when he signed for Man United, said, yeah, it's been done for months and everything. So you don't have to take everything that an agent says as gospel.
Yeah. I saw a comment there. Somebody saying that Tim Murphy says I'm racist against Ashley Williams. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't want him to play. Or it could be just that he's not good enough for Manchester United. Florenzi, Burgers. Somebody said Pogba is in LA. He was clubbing on Hollywood Boulevard. Check Twitter, says John Solaris. I've been told he's done the medical already. He might have done the medical. The whole deal, with Juventus might have been signed yesterday. We don't know. It might just all be being kept quiet. You just do not know. Everyone's scrambling around to be the first to do it. But Ryu's 20, same Mark. I have a feeling Pogba deal won't be done. Well, you're wrong. Everyone, can you drop us a like? We seem to have a lot of dislikes on this video for some reason. Maybe we shouldn't do it when we've had a drink again. Obviously, we're not very entertaining, so we won't do that again because it's just not getting enough likes for us to do it. So we just won't do it again. But Juventus haven't said a word, says Mark Woods. Well, they have. They confirmed last Saturday that there was a club, they were negotiating with a club to sell. You see, it's all about picking up on the things that have been said. A week ago, Juventus said that they were dealing with a club for the sale of Pogba. And everyone's like, oh, it could be Real Madrid, even though it was us linked to him. So we know subsequently to that we are dealing with him. We are that club. Juventus have basically admitted that. So just don't worry. I'm telling you, relax. Go and get a glass of Horlicks, early night, have a sleep. Don't think about it. It's going to be done. I've already done the dab, so you should already have liked it. The dab was right at the start. I'm going to wrap it up there because we've got a busy day tomorrow. We've got a watch along that will start kickoffs at 6:30. Team news will be at 5:30, so we'll be live from 5:30. Get on that for us an hour before, talking about all sorts of stuff, and then when the match starts for the watch along. Last time we did it, you were fantastic. I don't know whether anybody else is doing watch-alongs. If they are, fair play, whatever. Can't be bothered about that anymore. All I want to do is talk about Manchester United and football. I don't care externally what anybody does. What I do care about is the United stand and all you lot, and we need you with us tomorrow for the watch-along. So share it, like it, get everybody involved. Join us for the watch-along tomorrow from 5:30. I'll probably do a video in the morning about transfers, but I just don't know what I'm going to talk about at the moment. But I want to say thanks to Alex and obviously the Jesse Lingard shirt, and thanks for coming on, Alex.
Thanks for having me on. I know I upset a lot of people, so I guess after tonight I'll have to take this shirt out of the bin, but yeah, I'll have to find somewhere else to put it, but I'll try to find somewhere, but no promises.
Well, I'm going to have to rethink about Alex's future on the United stand, because if you're going to come on here and criticise Manchester United players, what do you think this show is about? What do you think it is, Alex? I mean, do you think it's some sort of fan channel where you can come on and say what you think? Because it's disgusting what you've done about Lingard tonight. Absolutely disgusting. You know what?
Apparently, it's against the rules to be on a fan channel when everyone has to share the same opinion. But there you go.
It's called banter. We've always had a laugh on this channel, especially when we've been out after work for a drink. But it is called banter. And you've got to laugh at life in general. You've got to have a laugh. But the United stand has always been based on saying it how it is, serious opinion, but also doing it with a bit of banter in there as well. For anybody who's not seen, Van Cam is back with Kev. That went up earlier on. That's great to have them back. That's tongue-in-cheek as well. And, you know, you've got to have a laugh in life. And we do things that probably other people don't, but you know what? That's probably what makes you, us, and everything unique about the United stand and why it does so well, because you just never know what's going to happen on a show. And I certainly get entertained every show by what I see flashing up on the live comments. Ultimately, Mark, are you drugged? MUFC culture. Don't do drugs, everybody. The drugs don't work. Don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. Don't do drugs. Mark, mate, you are just so banter. Check Twitter, says the law of attraction. Right, okay, we'll shut it there. Good job. Yeah, good job to all you lot. Absolutely superb on the comments as per usual. Join us for the watch along tomorrow. There will be a show in the morning. I'm going to go and have a pint of Horlicks. And Tyler said, Tyler, I'll pass that message on whether Kev will have your children. But brilliant. I am twerking as I speak. I just don't move my head and my shoulders when I'm doing that. But thanks everybody for watching. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening. The numbers are dropping. Do drop us a like, share the video, subscribe to the United Stand, keep getting involved, and we'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. Really looking forward to that. We're going to see Zlatan. See you tomorrow.